There's no greater way to gut check your self-perception than the degree in which you have leadership in your life. Don't give up on your dream just because the first time you launched it, it didn't go as big as you want. I would like you to look at your life in 3 areas and find your necessary.
Need motivation?
Watch the top 10 of Believe Nation because I love it.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more. And you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Brendon Burchard, and my take on his top 10 rules for success. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Believe in yourself.
Don't give up on your dream just because the first time you launched it, it didn't go as big as you want. I've had books that came out that weren't New York Times bestsellers right off the bat. It came out, didn't do that well. I was like, crap. So I had to learn and work and massage the marketing and do different videos and test it and shoot it in different ways, explain it in different ways, and then bam, it hits New York Times. It doesn't have to crush it. Sometimes you release a dream and you don't believe in it because it only gets 100 likes at first, or 1,000 people comment on it over a period of years, and 100 of them were your mom, And it's like, it can feel so disheartening, but I'm like, listen, if it's still in your dreams, if it's still in your heart, if you still lay in bed and you dream about it and you think about it and you really genuinely feel it, then that dream was sown in your heart for a reason. That dream was given to you to protect. That dream was given to you to create. That dream was given to you to fulfill. So my friends, believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. Put your dreams out there. Do the hard work because you deserve to see them out in the real world. But you won't if you don't start working at them every single day. Patience comes from, I know that this will happen. Patience comes from saying, okay, I'm going to work at it diligently every day. I'm going to allow myself to feel it. I'm not going to avoid those feelings. I'm going to let them come in. I'm going to work at this thing diligently. I will test it. I will put it out there. I will make it better, but I will not give up on my dream because that dream, I own that dream. It's your responsibility to make your dreams come true, my friends. I know you can do it. Remember, you're stronger than you think, and the future holds good things for you.
Rule number 2, push yourself.
I was talking recently to 2 NFL players. Great guys, legends, right? Really cool guys. And I just happened to be on some vacation and ran into them. And I'll show you what's really cool. As we were talking, one guy was talking about his hunger for being on the field. And he was talking about how the other people around him, who were also, by the way, they're all NFL players. They were good too. This guy's a legend. And he said that the main difference between what he felt like he did and other people did is he felt it was necessary for him to keep an edge. That's what he said. He says, I have to keep that edge. I have to be pushing myself. Because if I'm not pushing myself, then what ends up happening is other people pass me. And it wasn't just competitive for him. Because I said, is that it? Is this, you got to beat other people as an ego thing? He goes, no. He goes, because Brendon, they look to me. He said, they look to me for inspiration. They look to me for leadership. They look at me as a role model. If I let off and I fall into a comfort zone, not only will I probably not be in this, I won't last because it is so competitive, but I also won't be able to inspire the people around me. And at some point, I'll get bored. And as he was describing all that, I was like, wow, how many times in my life I've heard high performers talk like that? He's not saying, I pushed myself so hard because I want to win. That's not what he said. I pushed myself so hard because I'm scared of the people replacing me. That's not what he said. Pushed himself because he wanted to grow, but he also knew he was a role model. People were watching him.
Rule number 3, perfect your dream in motion.
Realize whatever dream you're going to have, you have to perfect it in motion. You can't be a perfectionist. Like, I could have gone another 2 years working on this and validated it with, 12 other academic teams. And I could have gone out and built, 4 apps for it and, online things. I could have kept this dream kind of in process forever. But listen, a real perfectionist realizes the real root definition of perfectionism is to perfect. And you cannot perfect something until you have released something. So sometimes you gotta set a deadline for your dream and you gotta go. Why am I filming this? Why are you like, Brendon, I've never seen you in a hat before or a shirt. I'm like, well, watch my social media, please, on Instagram especially. But the reality is, I don't have any choice. I set a deadline for this thing. We were gonna go. So this last Thursday when I announced it, we were not ready. My team wasn't ready. The world wasn't ready. I didn't have enough time because I'd had pneumonia and I was knocked down on my feet. I was just out of it. It didn't matter. We were launching. Here we go. Let's rock. And it kicked my butt. But I'm glad I did it, because as you release something, you start getting feedback. And I started getting feedback. Like, let me give you an example. This one, I don't know how the color in this room is terrible, so I apologize for that. This is the yellow high performance planner. This is the one I thought would fly off the shelves. Talking with friends, had to give some, I thought it was gonna be the yellow one, was gonna be bam, right? And if it wasn't that one, I thought, well, maybe it'd be like the cool orange. Let's see, I don't know if you can see all these. Like, there's a cool orange color in here. There's green, there's blue, there's yellow, there's red. This is the full year planner pack. So if you do look up on this on Amazon, by the way, you can type in full year planner pack and get this beast mailed to you. And this will last you all of 2019. It's super awesome. Anyway, I learned like this, not the most popular at all, least popular. So why is that important? Sometimes putting things out there is the only way you actually get closer to perfecting your dreams.
Rule number 4, be of service to others.
There's no greater way to gut check your self-perception than the degree in which you have leadership in your life. Are you being a role model and a leader for other people? And you know that question is either a yes or no. It's a binary thing. Either yes, I am being a role model and I'm trying each day to have the role model mindset, to lead other people, to influence them positively, or you're just going through the motions. And ultimately, a lot of people's self-perception, they're scared to check it because that's a high standard, right? To check your identity, to check who you feel you are against the reality, the influence you have with other people. It's super hard and super scary. And there's gonna be parts of your life where you're like, oh my God, I don't have any influence with people. They don't like me. I don't have any leadership. Well, then call a spade and say, what do I need to learn about communication? What do I need to learn about leadership? What do I need to learn about persuasion? Because if you can get better at those, your self-perception of yourself improves. You start feeling good about yourself when you're a better communicator. You feel better about yourself when you can lead other people. You feel better about others when you can influence them to support you, believe in you, buy from you, cheer you on, or at least improve their own lives. Because you want to know when your self-perception goes to its highest, when you know that you're in service to others. When you know every single day that you show up to serve and lead and to care for and to be a role model for others, your confidence comes in. Your perception aligns with the truth that you're here to make a difference. Your perception aligns with the truth that you are capable of helping other people. And when they see that you're helping other people and you feel like you're helping other people, that alignment of perception comes back into alignment. And you feel better about who you are because you recognize that other people are seeing your greatness. You can't be great if you don't lead. You can't feel great about yourself unless you care for other people, you serve other people, and you seek to be a role model. These are the things that can align that self-perception, what other people think and what you think, and gut check yourself once in a while because you're an extraordinary person, so start living like one.
My friend Evan Carmichael's book, listen, humans are built to serve. Some people are built to serve the world, others want to serve the 25 people closest to them. But in either case, humans are built to serve. So if you're not happy right now, it's because you're not serving enough. You got to pick up this book because it's so inspiring to remind you that we're all here to contribute, to make a difference, to make an impact, and this is your field guide for that.
Rule number 5, set quarterly goals.
Work daily goals. You cannot keep showing up random to so many days of your life because in reaction, we feel smaller. In reaction, we feel constrained and constricted by the world. We feel like things are unfair. In reaction, we're less motivated. In reaction, we won't break through. So you gotta have goals built out that you're moving towards that does give you that identity of achievement and that identity of realness that says, hey, I'm doing this. And so here's what I need you to do. I need you to look at the next 12 months and I need you to set at least 5 big goals for this next year. And then I want you to break each of those 5 goals down into 5 different deadlines for each quarter. Meaning like if you've got one goal for the year, I want you to set down a deadline for quarter 4, quarter 3, quarter 2, quarter 1. So that today, as you go out these next 12 months, as an example, you go, okay, in quarter 1, I'm gonna achieve this deadline that's gonna help me move towards this goal by the end of the year. Quarter 2, I'm gonna achieve this deadline that will help me move even closer. Quarter 3, even closer. Quarter 4, we've achieved it. Make sense? So you're busting down quarterly goals or quarterly deadlines. Then you're saying, okay, what does that mean? What are the major activities I need to do each week leading into that? And then each day leading to that. Just work it backwards, my friend. Because you know when you don't have confidence, when you don't have clarity. So if you're like, I want to do it and I'm kind of doing it and things are going okay, but I still feel like it's not real for me and I don't like it, partially the reason is you just don't know what to do. And when we don't know what to do, when we lack competence, we also lack confidence, right? We're always talking about this in my high performance work. Hopefully you read this in High Performance Habits. It's that issue of the competence confidence loop. And we're not going to get you more competent if you don't try new things, which requires confidence. And if you try new things, you learn more, which gives you confidence. So it's this loop, right? And I think it's really important that you understand if you're not working goals every day, if you're just reacting and doing tasks, fulfilling everybody else's needs, that's going to eat away, even if you have a lot of success.
Rule number 6, ask for help.
If you really want to live a courageous life, but you notice you keep shutting yourself down because of stuff that happened in previous chapters of your life, not just like you're down, hey, look, some of us all had a bad week in the last couple months. Like there's a difference between like a bad couple days versus a couple chapters, right? And if you had a couple chapters where you've been down, depressed, sad, a couple chapters where you minimize yourself, a couple chapters where you shot yourself down, sabotaged yourself, told yourself so stories, and like literally limit yourself because the way you perceived yourself from the past, if those old chapters have been there, multiple previous chapters, then from today, do yourself a favor and seek professional therapy. Seek somebody to do that work with you. There's lots of tactics and strategies and productivity things that I'm sharing all the time. Lots of new triggers and ideas I'm sharing all the time. But it's like, if you're trying to hit gas and you keep hitting the brake at the same time because for reasons of trauma or super old stories or old baggage, you just need somebody to help you process that. It doesn't make you weak seeking help, it makes you courageous seeking help. It doesn't make you small seeking help, it makes you expansive seeking help, and it might be your way out. So I just think that, I don't know how you guys feel, but I really feel like a lot of people think that there's like a stigma to therapy still worldwide. And I know I have an international audience. You heard how everybody's from all around the place. So I just want to let you know, like, it's okay for you to seek professional, medical, or therapeutic guidance because you shouldn't be still trapped in your old stories. Not at this stage. You're too damn old. Like, isn't it true? We've all been through too much to be thinking about what we did in high school or elementary school or that trauma that we had 4 or 5 years ago. And sometimes you need assistance for that. Like many of you guys know, I had a major trauma a couple years ago when I had a brain injury. I didn't have the brain injury and then be like, I'm good. I'll get on with my own damn self. I was like, man, I had significant trauma there. I got hurt. I'm gonna go get some help. And if I hadn't got that help, we wouldn't be here together today. So I just think it's okay to ask for help and to know that if you need it.
Rule number 7, protect your energy.
Energy to me is just like a feeling or a sense, but in the research, we had to codify 3 separate kinds of energy. One is mental energy, which is straight up your mental focus and stamina
right,
to do activities, right? Without just like tuning off, right? Because that's hard. I'm sure some people have started writing a paper and you got to page 1.5 and your brain went somewhere else.
Totally.
You were just tired. The other one is emotional energy, which is the quality of positive versus negative emotion. And the last one was a spiritual energy, a sensation that they were in flow or not. And what we found out is high performers have incredibly intentional habits to protect that energy. When we were on tour for Oprah, when Oprah was on tour, she tells this great story about how she was so moved by someone who was on her show who went into a green room and was telling Oprah the story of, she saw this sign that said, "Please be responsible for the energy you bring into this space." Yeah. And I'm always saying, please be responsible for the energy you project into the world.
Yes.
High performers are so critically aware of what their energy is they're feeling and how they're treating other people. It's profound. And the way that they do that is they have a lot of habits that protect their well-being. So they're truly seeking to optimize health. They care about nutrition. The world's largest study on productivity that's ever been done found out that on average, the world's most productive 1% of people take a break every 52 minutes. Every 52 minutes, they take a break. Now, if you ask them, did you need the break? They're like, no. They could power through all day. They have the mental energy and stamina they could go, but they take the break like a pit stop, like in NASCAR, right? The cars actually don't need to stop right then. They stop to change things out and optimize things so they can keep going faster.
Yes.
We have to do that in our own lives. So some of them, that's meditation. One that's incredibly important for everybody here, especially in the United States. Right now in the United States of America, 72% of Americans are overweight or obese. And that has incredible health repercussions. That is, you're sicker longer, you die earlier, you report less happiness throughout the majority of your life. You pass some of that behavior on to children. Like, it's a very big deal. And it's not a judgment of a body shaming thing. It is your quality of life in every measurable way that they have in science shows it's not as good. And we want you to feel okay. Well, high performers, they work out 5 times per week, 40% more likely than an underperformer. Now, that workout might be literally like you take a 45-minute walk after dinner.
Sure.
It doesn't mean you're climbing and running the mountain.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to have a six-pack or anything.
You move every day. And so they're protecting that. I think that's what's really important. They have active lifestyles, not because it's easy, because they know the alternative of burnout and fatigue will hurt their performance.
Yes.
Rule number 8, visualize.
This is really important. It's so simple. To help overcome that feeling of the imposter thing, part of the feeling of the imposter thing is you don't feel the outcome of your work. And so I want you to start visualizing and meditating on the actual outcome of your contributions. So as an example, if you're a new team member of a new company and you're just like, gosh, I don't really belong here, I don't feel like I'm here, I want you to stop. Every time you feel that imposter syndrome come in, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to visualize yourself doing something, and I want you to visualize yourself experiencing, celebrating, seeing, sensing the outcome of the thing. For example, like for me, I began my career writing books and doing seminars. And, I remember being with a group of speakers one time, and they had really they'd done a bunch of seminars and they were really along the way, and I'd only done 1 or 2 and I didn't do them well. I went broke doing them. I had no idea what I was doing. And I thought, oh my gosh, do I belong with these guys? Can I play at their level in the seminar game? And I remember that doubt coming in, and I remember specifically, I talked with a bunch of them and we were all in this big hotel ballroom. I went over, I got in the hotel elevator and I closed my eyes and just said, Brendon, just see it, man. And I forced myself to see myself standing in front of 1,000 people in a hotel ballroom for multiple days and just teaching and training and coaching and interacting and having fun and jumping and clapping. And I was like, how would that feel? And I allowed myself to feel it. And what would it look like? And I'd get little details. And I went up, it was maybe 10 floors in that building. And I'll tell you what, from the doubtful kid who entered on floor 0 to the kid who walked out on 10th floor, I felt like 1,000 feet high. Like I felt so good, you know, because I felt it. And so much of the imposter syndrome is you're just kind of like analytically like questioning yourself, and you're like digging yourself in a hole, and you're doubting yourself, and you're letting your own thoughts poison you versus fuel you. And there's a visualization or a meditation that could be your savior. And that is just anytime you feel it, take a break. Go lay down or sit down, close your eyes, see it, feel it, sense it, and make it more real. Because the reason you feel like you're an imposter is because it feels fake. So make yourself physically feel and see the outcome of your good works.
Rule number 9, exercise.
Right,
Every
that's how you sign
measurable
up.
outcome
Yeah.
in your life improves with more quality of exercise.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, even at a spiritual level, I ask people, would you go to the house next door and spray paint it and break all the windows and throw a bunch of garbage in it? And yet, you're so willing to vandalize the temple that God has given to house your soul.
Yeah.
That's your house. So if you wouldn't go vandalize your neighbor's house, why are you vandalizing your house?
Yeah.
Your gift. It's very important, garbage in, garbage out. Pay attention. And I'm not here to say everyone has to, eat perfectly and work out 1,000,000%. I'm here to share the research that is unequivocal.
Yeah.
Mental health and exercise, and protecting both of those. Diet, nutrition, meditation, all of these things, sleep, all of these impact how good of a job you do tomorrow, how long you live, how good you feel. And I'm like, everyone wants to be happy.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is find your necessary.
I would like you to look at your life in 3 areas and find your necessary. Think about first your relationships. Why is it necessary for you to improve that relationship right now? See, most people, they wait too late in their life to find necessary. So your partner walks out on you and says, well, I've been telling you to get better, but you never got better. And now all of a sudden, oh, let me make better. I'll get better. Waited too late to find necessary. They said, I gave you the chance, I'm out of here. You never found necessary in your mind, so you never got better in that relationship. Does that make sense? People wait until tragedy. They wait until scarcity. They wait until obligation. They wait until that very last moment, because it's so much easier to be comfortable than to try. So I'd like you to think first and foremost for your relationships. What relationship in your life do you need to find your necessary in? That like decision, like it's necessary for me to be a better dad because why? It's necessary for me to be a better wife because why? It's necessary for me to be a better team leader because why? If you never ask that question and you're not clear about why it's important to you, obviously we know from everything we've studied in psychology, you lose motivation. There's no reason, there's no drive. There's no ambition and expectancy that we're going to reach it. There's no motivation. And so your relationship, what's necessary? Now think about your career. Why is it necessary for you to be excellent at what you do? Why? Can you articulate it? Can you journal on it today? After this video, maybe you sit down, what's my necessary in my world right now for my career? Think about your health. Why is it necessary for this year to be the year you get healthier? Why? Why is it this year, right now, you're gonna quit smoking? Why is it this year you're gonna stop drinking all your calories? Why is it this year you're gonna stop overeating? Why? Why is it necessary? Because look, if you're just gonna fall back in your comfort zone, you're just gonna keep smoking, keep drinking the calories, keep overeating. You're gonna stop working out because it's easier. It's easier. This is a path that feels so good. It's the path of least resistance, but it also leads to early death. It also leads to relationships that are unfulfilling. It also leads to careers that are minimal and never scaled to their appropriate level because no one knew what was necessary. I work harder than I need to. It could be easy. I could live every day in the Caribbean, have my pina colada, As soon as it hits noon, I don't feel so guilty. Noon, boom, I'm gonna have me a pina colada, no problem. I could do that every day of my life now. But you know what? I wouldn't be fulfilled. You know what? I wouldn't fulfill my destiny. You know, I wouldn't fulfill my potential. You know, I wouldn't be here with you guys. Because for me, it's necessary. I work harder. I focus, I develop, I practice. It is a fundamental identity of a high performer to know what is necessary now for me to develop, to grow, to give, to connect. And if you have not clarified that, that is why you don't have more motivation.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and you just get motivated, the sign says you have a 35% chance of actually following through. That's not good enough, Believe Nation. We gotta take action. But when you get motivated and then you create a specific plan of action for when and how you're gonna do it, your number jumps from 35% to 91% chance of following through. And when you commit to somebody else, like posting down here in the comments below, that number jumps to 95%. I wanna know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so you can follow through and I can celebrate you.
For those who are interesting and you're so worried about your strengths, because a lot of people listening, like me maybe, when the whole strengths movement started, I was like, I'm screwed. I ain't got none. You know? The good news is high performers don't report working on their strengths any more than underperformers or anybody else. Because high performers less often ask, what am I good at? What are my unique strengths? Then they tend to ask, what is needed here? And how can I be of service? So for example, if I had said, is my strength video? I would have never done video. Mm-hmm. Instead I said, how do I be of service to more people? I'm gonna have to reach more people. I have to use video.
Same, yeah.
Right? So people don't get trapped in thinking if you don't have a strength right now, that A, you can't develop it, and B, that that's necessary. We need less people kind of gazing at their navels and being like, what am I like? And I love the self-awareness and the deep introspection, but we also need people who just show up and provide service, even if they're not comfortable with that. Mm-hmm. Even if they're not good at that. Like most of the things that we do, we weren't good at, but we said, oh, that would help me be of more service. Mm-hmm. Let me do it. Let me figure it out.
If you want 10 more amazing rules from Brendon Burchard, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Most people are half-hearted, half interested, half engaged in their actual dream and actual ambition. Self-perception should always have a component of self-evaluation